Have you ever wondered why, after eating something specific, your mind seems to light up with surprising clarity, while other times you feel heavy and uninspired? Perhaps you have even suspected that the food you eat not only nourishes your body, but can also be the key to boosting your mental abilities. Well, you are not alone in that curiosity. The relationship between food and the mind has intrigued scientists, philosophers, and great inventors throughout history. And from ancient Greece with Hippocrates proclaiming, "Let food be your medicine," to the most advanced scientific laboratories of today, we keep searching for that almost mystical diet that allows us to think better, remember more, or, why not, achieve a genius status. But what does it really mean to be a genius? Think about it. We usually associate that word with prodigies like Leonardo da Vinci or Nikola Tesla, figures capable of conceiving ideas far ahead of their time. However, genius does not always lie in creating a flying machine or imagining alternating current. Sometimes it is about finding quicker and more effective solutions to everyday problems, concentrating easily and keeping an alert mind, even amidst the chaos that surrounds us. And this is where nutrition comes into play with an almost underestimated power. To better understand how food drives our cognition, we must travel inside the brain, an organ that weighs no more than 1.5 kilograms and yet consumes about 20% of the body's total energy. Imagine a headquarters of billions of neurons that never fully rest, and to perform at their best, require a constant and high-quality supply of nutrients. When those nutrients are lacking, either due to unbalanced diets or diets based on ultra-processed foods, a domino effect occurs impacting memory, attention, creativity, and ultimately our performance in almost any intellectual or even emotional task. There are certain chemical compounds especially relevant for our cognitive abilities: essential fatty acids, B-complex vitamins, antioxidants, minerals like magnesium or zinc, and amino acids that act as precursors to neurotransmitters. All these nutrients become pieces of a puzzle that build, maintain, and protect the neural networks. When we harmonize that biochemical symphony in our brain, we gain greater mental clarity, a better ability to solve problems, and of course, remarkable agility to learn and memorize. Clearly, it's not about a magic wand or thinking that by eating a couple of miraculous foods overnight, you'll turn into Einstein. However, it's undeniable that what you choose to put on your plate profoundly impacts how your mind performs. Imagine that each bite you take is a kind of investment. You are investing in your own ability to process ideas, make better decisions, and adapt to daily challenges. It is also vital to keep in mind the psychological factor. When we are aware that we are properly nourishing our brain, we often experience a kind of empowerment. We feel capable of facing the daily demands with more confidence, and that extra motivation by itself elevates our cognitive performance. After all, the brain does not work in isolation. It reacts to both chemical stimuli, nutrients, hormones, neurotransmitters, and emotional ones such as confidence, a sense of achievement, motivation. In this video, we will discover 5 essential foods that, if consumed correctly, can give you that boost your mind needs to shine. From those known for their healthy fats to small but powerful fruits loaded with antioxidants, you will see how each one contributes its bit to sculpt a more agile, alert, and time-resistant mind. And if you stay with us until the end, you'll get an extra surprise in the final chapter. New approaches, curiosities and strategies to further enhance results, and a special invitation to discover more resources that could radically change the relationship you have with food and your brain. Can you imagine an army of tiny builders that day after day repair and strengthen the walls of each of your neurons? This is how you can visualize the function of omega-3 fatty acids in the brain. They are like the maintenance team of a large building. Without them, neuronal structures become more prone to instability, making it difficult for electrical and chemical signals to be transmitted efficiently. That's why we often hear that omega-3s are the fuel for our brain, as they help maintain its agility and prevent the cognitive machinery from rusting over time. The science behind omega-3. Fatty acids. Omega-3 are fundamental components of the cell membranes in the brain and participate in communication between neurons through the synapse. To put it in clearer terms, imagine that each neuron is a small island connected to many others. If the bridge between them is in poor condition, communication will be slow and faulty. That can manifest as a reduced ability to concentrate, memory lapses, or, in more severe cases, an increased risk of neurodegenerative problems. When we consume foods rich in omega-3, especially docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, and eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, we strengthen the integrity of those bridges and help maintain a constant and smooth flow of information. You have probably heard that salmon or tuna are excellent sources of omega-3, but there are other oily fish that, although less advertised, are just as beneficial and sometimes more affordable. Sardines, mackerel, herring all contain important amounts of DHA and EPA, the most biologically active omega-3s. Including them a couple of times a week in your diet can make the difference between a functioning brain and one that flashes. However, you may be concerned about the mercury content or contaminants in some fish. To minimize that risk, experts suggest diversifying the species you consume and choosing smaller fish, as they tend to accumulate less heavy metals. Additionally, many supermarkets today offer options with responsible fishing certifications, so do not hesitate to check the labels to be sure of your choice. But what about vegetables? Not everyone is a fan of fish or follows a diet that includes animal sources. The good news is that there are also plant sources of omega-3. In this case, the type of fatty acid we mainly find is ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, present in foods like chia, flaxseed, walnuts, and hemp seeds. Although the body needs to convert ALA into DHA and EPA to make the most of it, including it in your diet is still very beneficial for your brain and heart health. For example, a tablespoon of chia seeds in your morning smoothie or a handful of walnuts in your snack are simple yet powerful gestures to nourish your neurons. Additionally, ground flax seeds can be easily added to salads, soups, or homemade bread dough, offering you extra fiber and antioxidants. How to eat them properly. If you thought it was enough to just buy blue fish or a packet of seeds and that's it, there is a small detail. The way you cook and consume these foods influences their properties. Omega-3 fatty acids are sensitive to heat and prolonged exposure to light. That's why if you fry the fish at very high temperatures, you can lose some of these precious nutrients. The ideal is to opt for gentler cooking methods, such as steaming, baking, or grilling, to preserve the integrity of the omega-3. In the case of seeds, it is best to grind them just before consuming or look for versions that are already ground, because otherwise we will not be able to absorb all their components. Remember that the shell can pass through your digestive system almost intact. Additionally, storing seeds or derived oil, like flaxseed oil, in a cool and dark place prevents them from oxidizing quickly. The benefits of omega-3 are not limited to neuronal activity. They also have a very positive impact on heart, joint, and skin health. So, indirectly, you will improve your overall quality of life. A healthy body free of inflammation is a better ally for concentration, memory, and productivity. It has been observed, for example, that an adequate intake of omega-3 helps regulate systemic inflammation that can impair cognitive functioning. Why should you care for your long-term neuronal maintenance? Think that every new neuron you form, every connection you strengthen, is a small investment in your future mental capacity. If today you are 30 or 40 years old, you probably feel like you are at an optimal moment in your life. But imagine how you would like to age, with lucidity, with memory, and even with the ability to learn new things. Investing in your brain today, through nutrition, is planting the seed of that mental clarity that so many of us long to maintain. Including the right amount of omega-3 can be compared to tuning a musical instrument. It's not just about playing the notes, but ensuring they sound with the best possible quality. With essential fatty acids, your brain can play in tune and at the rhythm you desire. Since ancient times, red and purple fruits have been considered true treasures of nature, associated with special energies, longevity, and more recently, with extraordinary benefits for brain health. And when we talk about berries, we refer to a delicious range of fruits like blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, and currants filled with antioxidants that, almost imperceptibly, work to keep our mind agile and alert. When we mention the word antioxidants, we often think of wrinkle prevention or fighting aging, but the reality is that their scope goes far beyond aesthetics. The antioxidants found in berries, mainly in the form of flavonoids and anthocyanins, are true biochemical warriors. They track, identify, and neutralize the free radicals generated in our body. These free radicals are unstable molecules that can attack your cells and cause damage to DNA, proteins, and of course, neurons. Different studies have shown that the flavonoids present in berries improve communication between neurons and promote the formation of new synaptic connections, a process known as neuroplasticity. This becomes especially relevant when we want to retain new information, such as a language or computer skills, or when we seek to keep our mind young as the years pass by. Significant improvements have even been reported in spatial memory and problem-solving ability in older adults who included berries in their diet regularly. On the other hand, it has been observed that these sweet fruits can also help regulate the inflammatory response in the brain. Given the relationship between chronic inflammation and certain neurodegenerative diseases, any reduction in inflammatory markers is a great benefit for long-term mental and cognitive health. Many times we obsess over the idea of the best berry or the most antioxidant. Although cranberries, especially those called blueberries, are often among the most studied and praised, the truth is that almost all berries share very similar properties. Raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries, for example, also provide important amounts of vitamin C, fiber, and minerals. In fact, the variety of pigments from red to dark purple suggests that each type of berry contains a slightly different blend of phytochemicals, so the wisest choice is to rotate them or combine them in smoothies, salads, or desserts. If you don't find them fresh in all seasons, don't worry. Frozen versions usually retain most of their nutrients as they undergo a flash freezing process shortly after harvest. However, check the labels to ensure they do not contain added sugars or other unnecessary additives. You might think it's enough to buy a container of strawberries or blueberries and devour them as a snack, but there are little tricks that will help you make the most of their benefits. First, avoid sweetening them with large amounts of refined sugar, honey, or syrups, as this can raise the glycemic index too much and counteract some of their benefits. If you like sweet flavors, choose to mix them with natural yogurt or kefir, which also provide beneficial probiotics for gut health and in turn for brain health, thanks to the gut-brain microbiota connection. Another tip is to try not to overcook these fruits. Exposing them to high temperatures can degrade many of their antioxidants. It's best to consume them raw or add them at the end of cooking in dishes like oatmeal pancakes, or soft compotes so that the exposure to heat is minimal. Have you ever felt that your mind gets blocked when you try to concentrate on an important task? At times like these, nuts and seeds can become invaluable allies. At first glance, we might think that these small foods only provide a handful of calories. However, when we look closer at their nutritional content, we discover a wealth of micronutrients essential for brain activity. Vitamins, minerals, healthy fatty acids, and plant proteins harmoniously combine in each nut or seed, offering you comprehensive support to improve your focus and keep you mentally active. Nuts and seeds are a true arsenal of beneficial compounds for the brain, among which B-complex vitamins stand out as essential for the production of cerebral energy and the formation of neurotransmitters, as well as minerals like magnesium, zinc, and selenium. They play key roles in mood regulation and memory, in addition to strengthening communication between neurons. Healthy fatty acids, the presence of omega-3, especially in walnuts and monounsaturated fats, common in seeds like sesame or sunflower, helps maintain the structure and flexibility of neural membranes. High-quality protein helps stabilize blood sugar levels and provides amino acids that the brain requires to function optimally. Because they improve concentration, the brain needs a continuous supply of energy and nutrients to work at its maximum potential, when you experience drops in glucose or lack any micronutrient like magnesium, which is important for relaxation and nerve transmission. Your mind starts sending signals of fatigue or even irritability. Nuts and seeds, thanks to their healthy fatty acids and their balanced combination of proteins and complex carbohydrates, release energy gradually, preventing you from going from a peak of energy to a sudden drop. Moreover, we cannot forget their high content of antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain. A less inflamed brain functions more smoothly. Imagine that instead of battling an internal smog that hinders every thought, your neurons can work in a clear environment where the mental fog dissipates. Maybe you're thinking it's complicated or expensive to eat nuts and seeds daily, but the truth is, there are many simple strategies to integrate them into your routine. As a topping for your breakfasts, add chopped nuts and sunflower or pumpkin seeds to your oatmeal, yogurt, or morning smoothie. This habit provides crunchy texture and a boost of healthy fatty acids. In salads or vegetable soups, sprinkling sesame seeds, flaxseed, or chia on your dishes is an easy way to add micronutrients without altering the flavor too much. Practical and nutritious snacks. Carry with you a small bag of walnuts, almonds, and seeds to satisfy your hunger between meals. Combine them with dried fruits like cranberries for a sweet and antioxidant touch. Plant-based butters like sugar-free peanut, almond, or hazelnut butters are fabulous for spreading on whole grain bread, oatmeal cookies, or even on apple slices. Sauces and dressings, try grinding seeds like sesame, flaxseed, or chia to create homemade dressings and sauces, ideal for marinating meats, fish, or simply to give a more nutritious twist to your pasta or vegetables. When you get used to incorporating these ingredients into your daily routine, you'll notice that your palate begins to perceive and enjoy those toasted and natural nuances. Also, your brain starts to thank you with a better cognitive response and fewer energy fluctuations. Tips to maximize their benefits. Buy them raw and natural whenever possible. Avoid fried or excessively salty versions. When toasting or frying, certain vitamins and antioxidants can degrade. Store them properly. Many nuts and seeds contain unsaturated fats that can easily oxidize. Store them in airtight containers, preferably in a cool place away from direct light. Activate the seeds if you have time and curiosity. Soak them in water for a few hours, especially chia, flaxseed, or almonds. This can improve their digestibility and the bioavailability of certain minerals. Food number 4. Dark chocolate and the secret of intelligent pleasure. Dark chocolate with a high cocoa concentration, normally above 70%, holds a treasure of flavonoids and antioxidants that help improve certain cognitive functions as long as we consume it consciously and in moderation. When we talk about dark chocolate, the concept of flavonoids comes up almost immediately. These natural compounds, also present in green tea and some fruits, act as true protectors of brain cells, fighting against inflammation and free radicals that can damage neurons. Moreover, various studies indicate that flavonoids can promote blood circulation in the brain, optimizing the supply of oxygen and essential nutrients. Think that by enjoying an ounce of dark chocolate, You are inviting a battalion of protective molecules that work to keep your neural networks ready to process information, memorize data, or solve problems with greater agility. Of course, it's not about thinking you'll instantly become a genius because of it, but it is true that this food can give you an extra boost in your quest for mental clarity. The consumption of dark chocolate is also associated with the increase in the production of endorphins and serotonin, neurotransmitters that influence the feeling of well-being and happiness. Do you recognize that gratifying sensation after eating good chocolate? It's not just your imagination. There is scientific evidence that the compounds in cocoa can improve mood. When we are more relaxed and happy, our cognitive abilities like creativity and attention tend to be amplified. The brain is in a less hostile environment and can allocate more resources to higher functions instead of wasting them on controlling stress. It is further evidence that taking care of emotional well-being is a key factor in enhancing practical everyday intelligence. How much chocolate is too much? It may sound tempting to binge on chocolate under the premise that it's good for the brain, but, as with everything, moderation is key. Ideally, you should consume between 20 and 30 grams of dark chocolate with high cocoa content a day, or if you prefer, on alternate days. In this way, you will get the benefits of flavonoids without overloading on sugars or saturated fats that could counteract their positive effects. If you like intense flavors, choose varieties with 80% or even more cacao. Over time, your palate will get used to the reduced sugar presence, and you will begin to perceive aromatic nuances that would go unnoticed in commercial chocolate with high milk or sweetener content. Eating chocolate in excess can cause spikes in blood sugar or a calorie increase leading to overweight. These factors, when they become chronic, end up harming overall health and thus affect long-term cognitive performance. Additionally, some products advertised as dark chocolate may have a low actual percentage of cacao and a high content of refined sugar. That is why it is crucial to read the labels and look for options as pure as possible, preferably with few added ingredients and without palm oil or other unnecessary additives. Including dark chocolate as part of your day can become a small ritual that, besides bringing pleasure, helps you create a moment of calm and focus. Take the time to savor it slowly, appreciate its aroma, and let it melt in your mouth. It is a perfect moment to take a break, clear your mind, and recharge your energy before resuming your activities with renewed drive. Myths and truths worth knowing. Chocolate causes acne true. In most cases, acne is related to hormonal and genetic factors. Chocolate with low sugar content is not the main culprit. Causes hyperactivity in children. True hyperactivity is more linked to excessive sugar consumption than to chocolate itself. If you choose dark chocolate with less sugar, the risk is minimized. Not all dark chocolates are the same. True, there are huge differences in the concentration of cocoa, the amount of sugar, and the additional ingredients. The purer and higher in cocoa, the greater the benefits. By dispelling these doubts, it becomes clear that dark chocolate consumed in moderation can become an ally on your path to a more active mental life. If you want to go a step further and learn advanced techniques to harness all your cognitive potential, From practical exercises to personalized nutrition plans, I encourage you to check the link found in the first comment of this video. There you will find resources and tools designed for those who wish to completely transform their relationship with food and the mind, with deeper guidance, detailed manuals, and continuous support programs. Remember that every choice you make today impacts the state of your brain tomorrow. Your journey toward a more agile, creative, and alert mind doesn't end here, but is just beginning. Dare to take the next step and discover how far you can go when you nourish your brain with quality foods and healthy life practices. I want to invite you to visit our health coach at tuvisalud.com. If you want to learn more about this topic, our coach is ready to help you. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, so you help us create more content like this. See you in the next one. A hug.